Hi, Tuccis. It's Roris.
And D-Money.
Two good Tuccis ready to talk iconic friendships of film and television. This week, we are discussing and dissecting Tess and Sean from Burlesque. And this should go without saying, but spoilers ahead.
hmm And just to let you know, a good Tucci is a BFF that has always got your back, no matter what. And I guess you could say that about Stanley Tucci in every movie role. And Stanley Tucci, if you're listening, I've been told to say, where is it? Um, uh, any resemblance to real persons or other real life entities is purely coincidental. All characters and other entities appearing in this work are fictitious. Any resemblance to real persons, dead or alive, or other real life entities, past or present, is purely coincidental. Hmm. So,
I'm
you
gagged.
know, just covering our bases.
I'm gook,
Uh,
gagged, ready, and gathered. And let's go, bitch.
Sean and Tess cannot wait to get into it. Uh, Burlesque
Oh,
is
Burlesque.
is a classic. It's a
She is.
camp classic. It's it's up there with Showgirls. It's up there
Oh,
with
yeah.
all of the good ones. And I don't really know. Well, we'll get into it. But the
We will.
friendship, watching it back, I don't think the friendship is what I thought it was.
This
hmm
came out
hmm
a moment ago, a little
Yeah,
moment ago.
it took a second, but
I was there,
it's a
and
little different than I remember.
yeah, after and I can't lie, I've seen this film, oh Burlesque, a few number of times. I did enjoy her as a young gay, a young queer growing into like it was just a good fun campy time, like you said. I loved everything about it, the fantasy, the atmosphere. But it is one of those where, as you rewatch it, as the years pass, things change. You notice things, you see things a little differently, and so this friendship or the friendships, the relationships, the two ships in the film, they changed a little bit.
Yeah, after several many viewings, I too
Yes.
have come to the conclusion.
Let me just take a whole moment to agree with you, is what that was basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, it's been a minute, so if you haven't seen this film,
Get into it. It's a
get
classic.
into it.
I won't say it still holds up, but the numbers, mama, they got power. They'll do it.
She's
And
sexy.
share.
If you don't like musicals, you'll love it. It's not even a full musical, but it's got its moments. But she's just a
Huh.
good, fun, rounded time.
The share is sharing.
The Cher is
But
sharing, the Tucci is Tucci-ing, the
well,
Xtina is
that's what he's doing. He's
Aguilera-ing.
just being the best friend. He's being there for the girls. He's being there for Tess. He's being there for himself. He's being there for the boys. Hi.
He's just like the stage manager, I guess. Is that it?
House mother, all of it.
Literally everything. Costumer, stage manager, the whole nine. Tucci's got it going on in this film. He is being quite literally the ultimate Tucci to
hmm
everybody. To everybody. So,
Basically.
henceforth, a
Um,
good Tucci. You had a
the
point.
one of the things that I would say that their friendship is based on is like honesty and sarcasm. And
Yes.
I would say that we probably share that same quality.
Oh, do
I don't know
we?
about you, but
Well, I don't know actually that I agree with that at all. I don't really think I can be like that sarcastic with you a lot of times because it just doesn't read and then you get offended and it's just like a whole mess of things. So like I would say I
me
disagree.
offended, never.
You offensive, offended, all of the above. No, I do. That is a huge relatable. I am definitely one of those people that once we get, especially with you, bitch, once we get to that certain level, if people witness an interaction, like they may think we hate each other.
Oh, is there about to be a fight? Oh,
Oh, are we
there's
pulling
going to be
earrings?
a fight.
We've
Yeah.
never
it-
fought
Oh no.
actually and had major conflicts, but
Yeah.
every casual conversation is a battle. Let me tell you that much.
But nothing that has actually got like the blood racing or like
No.
those feelings. No rage or like frustration. None of that.
And in other moments, and we'll get to these later, but similarly to again Sean and Tess, when we get in those fluster moments, we can rely on each other to bring it back down instead of to build it up. You know, like
You
you're
gotta
not the
check
one.
yourself.
Like you, we have frustrations, but you don't get me to that point. When I get to those
Mhm.
points with other people or other things, I'm like, bitch, I need a vent. We need to chat about this. I need you to tell me a lie, tell me a new lie, as Tess
Mm.
says. Like you get whatever you need. The support is there. So, and at this point, we're getting, and again, more topics we'll get into on the list. But we get in with you and I. It's a Tucciship. It's a working Tucciship. Like it seems very professional, and like who knows what we do outside of this. You and I, like
Mm-hmm.
we just we just be chilling and hanging and doing the things and doing all of the things. But it seems like they
All
might
of
be
the
the same.
things. They seem like they met working and they continue to stay working. The movie doesn't show much of their friendship, but I don't know what they're doing together, like
Correct.
outside of the work. Because, but also too, like they're always working, so when is there time to do anything else? But if they were to do something, we weren't told about it. Everything was implied, like everything was a story that we were told. We didn't see any of it. Like we've done things, and that's definitely worthy of screen time.
Isn't it? Oh, isn't it? I don't know who's watching, but it's worthy.
We've done our vacations, we've done our outings, we've done our excursions, and I feel like people would watch that. Like when we went to the drag show, that's enough. That's at least a good 21-minute episode, and
Good
they
gay
had some
times.
commercials. There we go.
Uh huh. Absolutely. No, I think they do a good job of implying these things about them and their relationship, just with how they interact, how they understand each other, how they communicate and they coordinate. So like even if the timeline hasn't been incredibly long, like they're on the level. They understand. They get what's going
Hmm.
on here. So yeah, I do think with all of the gayness, and again, like it's not far fetched from an idea that you and I be in a very similar situation, we'll say.
Oh, running like a theater.
A theater, a club, a bar of some sort, anything that puts on a live entertainment aspect, a show. We love a show, we love a
Hmm.
drama. But being in that position to produce and put
Hmm.
things together and run and manage, like that's
Not the
very,
birdcage.
it's very, oh,
Triggered.
oh, oh, that's very you and I energy. Maybe without the male
On
witch.
like the yeah, like we're not sharing children and all of that, but
There's, no, that may not be for
oh,
us.
oh.
We don't need it. You got your thing going. I got a different thing going, and I think right now we're doing just fine. Everything's fine. We're just doing good,
I don't
fine.
want it.
I,
But yeah, like that type of setting, something where I can clock into, not
not,
live above.
us clocking in and out of our friendship with each other.
No, not that. I
Thank you.
mean,
Don't call
like,
me after midnight. Thank you. Good night.
yeah, no, like,
Bye. No,
like we're
no, have a
showing
good
up to
night.
like open up the doors, and then like we get ready for the day, and like we do our rehearsals, and then we do the show for the night, and then like we clean up, and then we go home, and then we sleep until like noon and do it over again. Very Connie and Carla tea, but we own the place.
So you do kind of understand what a typical person's workday might look like. That's good. Good. eh? Eh? Yeah, I said, yeah.
Rude.
Yeah. I don't know what you could mean, darling.
Como se dice, bitch?
Did you just call me a bitch?
Cheers.
Oh no. Oh no, sweetie. Circling
Will
back.
not be disrespected by
Circling
this
back.
day. Good night.
Well, let's talk about the disrespect, shall we? Let's talk about it. Is there any. There's no. I can't think of a. She's not present. The Tucci is not a disrespectful being.
Oh no.
I'm thinking of like where there's moments of the shade and there's those opportunities. So we have like the audition scene where they're together and they're judging the gals. There's like a little bit of something, but still, it's just good old Tucci. He's just looking out for the best. It's positive, it's good vibes. And so,
Hmm.
like, that is what this Miss Tess is definitely needing in these moments.
It's more kind of like taking the kid and being like, all right, go out and swim. And they're standing there the entire time. And then they're like out there and then they like start to like go underwater a little bit. But you're like, it's only 2 feet of water anyway. So like you just lift them up.
Yeah, uh huh, uh huh.
So but that
Just
yeah.
they don't really need it, but you're there just to help give the guiding light, the little guiding
So
hand. It's like, I got you, gal.
here's Cher the entire time, and then she hears air rights, and then just
The world is
ascends.
solid.
Uh-huh.
That was the
Just
token.
she got the wings. She got the floaters.
Freedom. Let's go. She's going anywhere. Oh, the air rights. That's a whole nother topic. Do you know about air rights? Have you been informed, educated about your air rights?
Uh-huh. Have you been told about air rights?
Oh, not her. We're not revisiting that. That's that's not a
No.
moment we want to revisit.
No?
No. No, I think we're
Mm,
good. Thank you
but
so
they're always
much.
on the same page at least. So I think
Yeah.
that's where it comes from, maybe. Like they all know how it's going to end, what needs to be done, the steps that need to be taken. There's a detour or two, but the end goal is always the same. So as long as like somebody's always going straight and then they're doing this, like they're eventually going to like come together.
They'll figure it out. They'll get that middle
Mhm.
ground. There is a lot
Mhm.
of, in this case, uh, maybe one person leading that path, and really push it head course there. And you would think, based on what we said, maybe that would be a Tucci, be Mr. Sean, but Miss Sherilyn, Miss Tess, she is just
Hello.
she has her moment where she you see the full breakdown and she said no. She gives you the hard no, hard pass. No, thank you. It's not for me and mine's. Get out of here. You're wasting my time. And then just cool, calm, collected Tucci's just like, all right, girl. He gets it. He understands it. He doesn't question it because there is that just like a level of understanding. This is what you needed. I understand it.
Mhm.
But at the same time, let's check this moment. Let's get this together. And I can maybe think of a time or two where we have had a similar interaction. Where we let each other
Of like,
have the extra and just really feel the feels and then just be like, all right, girl,
oh yeah, 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 yeah.
let's let's break it down. Let's talk about it.
Well, what did you have in mind specifically?
You know, there was so let's say like maybe a past project. We'll say we'll say earlier iterations of this project. I
Oh,
like
okay,
I
past
like that.
podcast.
Uh-huh. Earlier iterations of current projects and just the stepping stones, the building blocks, the things that get us to where we're going, where we're at, blah blah blah. There was a lot of ideas. We had a lot of ideas. There was some things that were going to be given up, and there were some things that just were not being loved. And I do feel like there was definitely a time or two on both ends, I will say, where we talked each other off a ledge or like had to find that little compromise of like I was def I was definitely feeling like a bit more broad and open with some ideas than you were feeling at the time. And then
At
what
any time.
then once we did a little sample, a little test, you were like, "Oh, I see you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do some adjusting here." So like you just have to now you know in some ways you can just trust a hoe in that way. Not that we'll ever
Oh yeah.
repeat that
Well, it's like
because
a
now we
collaborative
know,
process, but also something like that has to happen in the first place. The opportunity has to present
of
itself
course.
because, like, you can say you'll be there for somebody, but until that, the opportunity is there and you actually show up and show out, like that's when it really matters. Because you can say you'll be there at all day, but when like that phone call comes and you're like, oh no, I'm busy, or you don't even answer, then that's a whole different story, and that's not a Tucci. That's not
Hello.
what it was meant to be.
No, no, no. Talk is talk, but you got to show up. And
Mm-hmm.
boy, oh boy, do they show up. Mainly because they work at the same place, so it makes it a little easy.
Get your well, I know
There's a
where
little
you work,
pass.
so
I know where you work, I know where you live. But I mean, we also get those glimpses of those past lives at some moments. And so, like, when we do get to branch outside of, I think it's just the one time. Is it the one time we see them outside of the club together at the wedding dance?
probably because you only see really Sean outside, like when he's having his booty call, and
Yes.
then again at the wedding.
Who is that? Was that Mark?
Mark,
Mark? Was his name
uh,
Mark?
Mark,
Something
you
tells
gotta
me it was
say
Mark or
hard
somebody.
Mark because of Roseanne.
Yeah,
Mark,
yeah.
Mark and Becky,
Mark.
Beck, Becky, Mark. All right,
They say she's the same, but she's never the same.
no,
They say she's the same, but she's never the same. That's not what we're talking about. Ah, gotcha, gal.
Put your bowl cut away. Oh my goodness. I was gonna say, what's on my head? Uh,
Michelle, what's my favorite thing?
has on wigs.
So wigs, has our hats, has our wigs.
Um, the they
Mark.
yeah, I don't know.
I
He
think that,
like I said, you don't really get too much Stanley Tucci time.
you
And
don't.
then when you do, they try to pack so much story into it. They're like, all right, he's working. All right, he's getting like
Well, that's
you're
the
getting multifaceted.
correct. That's the thing is you get a little bit more than like we may make it seem like right now, but it's because they're spreading Tucci thin. He's backstage with the girls. He's doing the costumes. He's
This
there
is
with
all within
Tess. He's in the
8 minutes.
office. He's backstage. He's on stage. He's by the bar. He's he's getting the dick, girl. Like he's
He's
getting
in the walls.
everywhere in the walls and the boxes. Let me tell you. So the
Mm,
Tucci is spread thin, and then of course the
mhm,
movie is about when Miss Xtina for the most part. We love, we stand. It's just not what we're talking about today. But best
mhm.
believe that Tucci is a good old Tucci to Miss Xtina in her role as Allie as well. Come on. But yes, the Tucci is spread thin. So when we're looking specifically at Sean and Tess and kind of their screen time and whatever, it is a little bit more limited. But they give us, again, that's what I was kind of mentioning earlier. They give us a lot to go off of. They're just the rapport. I guess it boils down to Cher and Tucci and just their kind of overall chemistry, we'll say. They have a little chemistry going on.
Oh yeah, the
It
abilities that
just,
they're acting.
it was just
Because
good. It was
we don't know. They
solid.
probably hated each other. I hope they didn't, but they probably. There's a
Oh, but
chance.
T, and you and I have talked about this before though, but that T about talk about hating something, not that they maybe hate it, but they didn't love it. This project, this venture.
Oh, and still doing it. Oh, oh yeah. They act like they don't act like Faye Dunaway and Mommy Dearest, where like she's like, oh, I didn't do that. What movie? Like get offended when people bring it up.
Sure, sure, sure.
When it's not like that, but they're like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah,
Like I don't.
there's no razzle dazzle behind the discussion about it for it to
Mhm.
be such a kind of razzle dazzle kind of film. But like, it was really for a certain audience, and I may or may not be part of that audience.
Well, it was definitely for me and Mises,
Hello, me and
and I
Mice is all
appreciated it,
day.
and I still watch it, and I got it on DVD, and it was stolen, and I got another copy to replace it. And
Of
what?
course you did, as you do. But that's shady. How dare you steal my copy?
Hmm. I've had many DVDs taken, but I guess you needed it more. Good for you. Um,
Mm.
one of the things in place that I think that they have, and also we have, not the same things, is coping mechanisms. they ha- they have a few coping mechanisms in place, not so much to deal with each other, but like for instance, like I always seem to be talked down off a ledge, and Sean can do that for Tess.
hmm
So
hmm
just things.
I mean, again, you are, and this just happened recently. You are also like depending the type of, I feel like we end up on different ledges is the thing. We have different emotional ledges that we end up on, you and I. So they're just different situations and scenarios. So even just recently, I texted you not too very long ago and was like, bitch, here's tea, this is happening right now. I I just need to share. I need to let you know what's going on. I need to talk about this and I don't know what to say. And
Hmm.
so the Tucci stepped in, gal, and she was like, well, here's what I think in a nice
Uh-huh.
and subtle way.
And like I felt like the regular person would have like I don't know. Not that you needed sympathy or like warmth, but I feel like they would have gone more that direction. And not that I
Sure.
went the other direction. I just went my own way.
Well, you
Because
just
it wasn't
went,
I don't feel like it was bad, but I also kind of was like, here's definitely how I feel about it. Because
to be fair, context. You understand the situation to a degree as a
hmm,
whole in which this moment was regarding, but also we understand each other to a much
hmm.
more in-depth degree. So at this point, we know something. We know how to say some things that may not be so pleasant or so correct, but say them in an appropriate way for each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
For
Like
each other.
the gentle parenting.
Gentle is a choice word there. Sure.
Well, not parenting, but like not that we're parenting each other, but like
No,
the
I know.
phrase
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like Nicki Minaj does a lot of gentle parenting
Sure, 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 gal.
to other
Yeah,
people.
that. Uh-huh.
Nicki
Uh-huh.
Minaj.
But no, we definitely, and I don't even like coping mechanisms. Like that's kind of a strong, they do for sure. And I know that we do. But I guess it really is just more of like, we kind of like, we just bond more when that's our
Hmm.
thing, which is like an interesting, I'm just like, oh, look, some shit's going on and there's some things happening. And like, okay, let's just go connect with a friend. And it's a little bit of escapism in the moment, but I used that time with you, with the friends and the Tuccis to break that shit down too. And so,
Well, I feel like when people have that ability with a friend, it's I don't want to say like therapeutic, but
in
it's
ways,
something that a lot of people do share. It's not like a special talent or anything. And I don't know where I'm going with it.
I mean, but to piggyback off that thought, it does give, like, in ways, it is kind of therapeutic because, I mean, it's therapeutic therapy. Like, that is something that is what you do oftentimes when you go to therapy is you just kind of talk it out and you just kind of vent and you're not necessarily getting a lot of rapport. I mean, you are,
Mhm.
but it's a different type because when it's with a friend, there's a little more bias and there's a little different understanding of the situation as it's been presented. Maybe not as entirely as factual all the time, but depending the level of friendship. But that again goes to just like that back and forth is to the friendship and to like in this instance like us like we just have enough to where it can be therapeutic and you can give me that time to just kind of vent and you can be sympathetic to your degree and to your own way and to your own right so that like it's good for the moment but you also understand what else I might need in that moment beyond just maybe a pep talk or just a little sympathy. Maybe it's just a little like let's do a reality check here. You know, let's I see what you're seeing, but this is a T girl. So let's jump
Mhm.
back down.
Sometimes it's well, I don't want to say sometimes. It's either one of two things. It's like, do you want the resolution or do you want just to vent?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's going to be one of the two. And so sometimes you just need to listen, and then sometimes you need to have it. Oh, that's what I was going to say earlier that I was going off.
Give it to me.
Um, being able to have that rapport with somebody is a testament to like the longevity of your friendship. And not, I don't want to say like you've known the person forever because I've known people for a long time, but I don't really know that much about them. But I could have
Oh yeah.
learned so much about you in like 3 months that totally surpasses what I've known somebody for 6 years. So, like, going through all of these things, through the ups and the downs, like, not so much between each other, but just in life. And knowing how like you react, like what kind of things you need to hear or like how it needs to be delivered, like that's a testament to
Oh
like
yeah.
how you know somebody and like the friendship because you know how they handle them.
Very much. I
Hmm.
was talking to someone recently who gave me and I forget why we were talking about relationships in general and whatever. And basically they said that kind of in their eyes and with in how they feel, like you can basically learn enough or about as much as you need to know about someone if you're looking long term in 6 months.
Hmm.
And I was like, that sounds very, very heterosexual.
Wow. Why you think it can happen sooner because you're gay?
2 degrees, yes. I think
Uh,
a lot of gay relations, queer community, I think we do get a little bit of like a speed up there. And it is a,
because well, let me stop you there. Do you say think it takes 6 months for a man to learn a woman, and it's easier for a man to learn a man or a woman to learn a woman, or a queer person know another queer person because they can relate as queer people as opposed to like a man and a woman. They have two different life experiences.
kind of a mixture, not necessarily like a man needing to learn a woman. Because if we're looking at a certain age, sweetie, you should already have that figured out. And it's
Hmm.
not like figuring out, it's like a whole thing, but just at least learning how to navigate areas of dating, of relationships with someone of the opposite sex, the opposite gender, however we're looking at it there. But also, yes, a lot, especially if we're looking at same sex, not necessarily like we're on a very broad spectrum here. But if we're looking at same sex, it can be easier, and it is oftentimes the case where you find a lot more common interest and common ground right off the bat. And so it just kind of bulldozes through some levels and some layers of that to where you can just kind of like have a quicker and better understanding of each other. And when it comes to like family history, that's going to vary very deeply for a lot of people. But we kind of we at least know people, and we're not to say that in a bad way. We all know
No, I'm
somebody.
just thinking candies and video games. Why not?
Why not? I said what I said.
Right.
But yes, so there, I do think that there's just different levels of like understanding of a lot of things right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
And so that can just help you connect a bit easier and deeper. And that's not always going to be the case, because it is a spectrum on every level, no matter if it's queer culture, gay, heterosexual, heteronormal, whatever we want to look at. But absolutely, I think it does make it a little quicker because, yeah, just learning a whole different person in general is a process.
That's what I meant. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like somebody you can't really relate to, that's like out of your routine, or like what you identify as, or like what you believe in.
Yeah,
Things
absolutely.
like that.
No, I definitely, yeah. I say we just get a little leg up a lot of times. It just works. It can take.
And the double wardrobe?
That's
Mama.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Fashion experimental. Easy done. Double it up. Unfortunately, well, I guess, so I was going into the next point. We don't get the same exact relation with Sean and Tess because they are not romantically involved, nor are they of the same sex or gender. So they are just those Tuccis in that way. But we do find out that they had their little moment, their little soiree. Was it Reno?
In Reno?
It was Reno, and it was lovely.
I stand by Shelley Long's quote in Troop Beverly Hills when she tells her troop to never go to Reno, children.
Okay.
And I stand by, never go to Reno. Nothing good ever happens in Reno.
Heard. Do you have personal
Nothing
experience
good.
here? I mean,
no,
we could treat it as.
I used to live by Reno when I was
Okay.
younger, so like that was the big town. Like when you live in a small town, sometimes like the next town over is like where they have like the good grocery stores, or like the good shopping, or like the variety, more than like the one grocery store in town. So when that happens, you sometimes have to travel, and I think it was like an hour and a half, hour and 45, like 2 hours if it was snowing, like
Not the snow.
craziness. And so like we would make like plans to be like, all right, this Saturday we're going to Reno. And then sometimes like we would have to stay overnight and then like get a room at Circus or Silver Legacy. There was this one time though where it was this like automated tram that like ran through like one of the hotels. I think it was Circus. And I was there with my family, and I was just like running around, like being a little idiot kid, just like skipping and hopping along, like not listening to them. They're like, come back, like don't be so far ahead, come back, come back.
Sure.
I'm walking and skipping, and like the thing pulls up, the tram, and I like hop and skip, and they're too far back, and the doors close, and I turn full gecko like against the screen.
Oh,
and I'm just and the thing is taken off.
She's gone, girl.
Taken off.
Gone.
And then I'm like full panic mode and full on, like, not even cell phones were invented then. Like car phones, yes, but not like a cell phone.
Sure.
And so I'm freaking out, and then I end up eventually getting reunited with the family because again, it just goes back and brought them to me. So
correct.
I just had to wait like 5 minutes, but full just.
I've been in similar situations.
Don't go to Reno.
Just don't do it. Don't
go to Reno.
Just don't do it. No, thank you.
You'll get encased.
You become the animal in Reno.
Or I forgot where I heard it, but it's Reno is Vegas for ugly people.
Oof. So on that note,
I'm not there to judge. Again, it's a spectrum.
I don't know. But
yeah, I know.
I don't know her.
I don't want to. Like I said, I've
you
been
know
to
what?
Reno and I've been to Vegas. I don't want to say which is for me.
I didn't write that book. I don't know her.
I did not write that book.
I
I
didn't
read
write that
some of
book. I didn't read that book actually either.
it. So,
So
yeah,
I don't know about her. But if we're going to talk
mhm.
about Reno, we might as well continue talking about our lovely Tucci's in this moment here.
Look at him.
Miss Shawn and Tess. Look at that. Look at those
Here, can you
glasses.
do what's your Stanley Tucci impression? Mine's. Here, let's see. Let's
Oh,
see if I can do this one.
do it.
Oh, here.
Do it for me. Go, 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 go. Oh, you better get the glasses. You better. That's it. That's what you got.
Is that her? That's all. That's all she wrote.
There's no vocal. There's no nothing. No line.
Oh no. Oh.
No, we need a full T. We need a full moment.
Okay. Here.
Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Mamma mia! No, no, because he's like
What film was that?
really Italian.
What film was that?
Right here.
What?
Right here.
What piece of media was that from?
Stanley Tucci in Italy, one of the series.
Okay. Okay. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it needs to be lower. There we go. This is him in the. Wait, let me pull up. Can we get?
Oh. Reference photo.
I got too much hair right now.
I got bangs.
My favorite one though, it's not even from this moment. My favorite Tucci. T.
For what? What is that?
You don't know
What are you
this one?
doing here?
You don't know this one? I
What
was
is
gay
it?
once.
If
We
it's
all
from
do
the
it.
Emma Stone movie, I haven't seen it. Thank you so much. We're gonna take a break.
Excuse me. Okay, we're revisiting this conversation. This is a conversation for another day. That is okay. Moving
But
on.
was it that? Was it that though?
Yes, it's from Easy A.
Okay, see, I didn't know what it was from, but I knew it was from that without knowing what it was from.
Because we've talked about this. This is gonna be my contact if you don't get the fuck on board. This is gonna become my contact. I'm telling you right now. I'll make it happen. I will start making references you would never pick up on. Defeats the purpose, but anyway. Shawn and Tess. Let's do this.
Oh goodness.
I can't with these names. I with Shawn and Tess, Cher, Tucci. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. There's a lot going on here. I feel like for some reason we have touched on this topic before, but this little sneaky night in Reno, this little moment, it couldn't be us. Couldn't be me.
Oh. I don't.
Share with the class, please do tell.
I'm trying to think of how I can put this. I don't know under what circumstances.
Okay.
So
we're starting this off. We're starting with reading. She said, "Hold on, let me get my keys. Let me unlock this library door really quick. Let me open the doors wide ass open. Mama, the library is open. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?"
I was just saying, like, I don't. I don't think it's ever going to happen. Let me
Sweetie.
rephrase that. It's definitely not going to happen. Asterisk. Life or death.
Here's the thing. Nobody wants this to happen.
No.
There's no way I could understand being in either one of their shoes, Shawn or Tess's. Mama, it's a yes from me.
Oh.
and their moment, you best believe I'm going to take it. You best believe I'm going to take that opportunity. But me and you?
You're going to say, go put on the Take Me Home glitter wig.
That's how you're getting it? That's how you're getting down with it?
With Cher.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Gay, mama.
And I want to say, I'm going to say, put me on the whole chandelier get up with the fur. I have climbed Hell's Mountain. Just that one.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you're spending your night. You want a full private gig, private concert from when Miss Cher.
That's that's what we're doing in Reno.
Okay. In Reno of all places. So the
Yeah.
real question is then, what you doing with if it's Tucci? That's the question.
Oh, that one. Like oh, you're not on TikTok like that. Well, there is a trend on TikTok, and I don't know if you were at the store and realized there was a shortage of fruit roll-ups, but there was a
I was
trend
not.
going around where girls would take the fruit roll-ups and use them on their partner. Well, I would probably do that with prosciutto.
How do you mean use? They just put them on their partner and then eat it off?
You just like wrap it around,
Okay.
and then because it was like a fruit roll, it was sticky,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they just how many licks. But
All right.
again, he's Italian.
But with prosciutto
Mm-hmm.
because
Because
Italian.
I'm sure there's like a side of feta already. Oh my god, I could not even finish that. I could not. I can't.
What happened?
I don't know.
What
I told you.
happened?
I don't. I react in real time as you. I don't know what happens. Sometimes it
Uh,
just comes out, and I don't like it either. I can't stand by what I say.
you can't stand feta. You're like, ooh, that laugh. Hated that.
You never want to go full Gorgamel.
Okay. And we're back. And we're back. What a
Yeah.
mess. All right. Well, couldn't be
Mm.
us, clearly. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But we're going to take a sidebar then. If we are talking about the
Mhm.
one Mr. Cam. So, bartender fella.
Oh yes.
That's all I'll say about that. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Look at you adjusting yourself.
Um,
She said, let me straighten up. Let me clean up real quick.
he's one of those people
Uh-huh.
like Anderson Cooper
Oh, okay. Carry on.
that are very attractive.
Yes.
On paper, amazing.
Yes.
But when they smile, something is a little off that takes points off. So I don't, because he's like
Is it
like
that
it hurts. It's stiff.
I see I kind of see what you're saying. And then the eyes and this is not the eyes get like in a weird squinty, almost like it's intentional, but it's not.
Like Ben Affleck too was part of this club.
Okay.
Like beautiful, beautiful gowns, lovely gowns. Just
A little.
it's just I don't. Mm,
Mm, do we
mm,
know about her? I
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I can look past it. I don't. It doesn't. This doesn't bother me.
Mm-hmm.
Mama.
Cut to me. Half
Worst
of
case
this
scenario, lights
episode.
off situation. You know what's going on.
Oh,
It's fine.
he said. You said
Little low light. Get a little
oh,
candlelight.
low light, full beat. All of this.
Full beat. Full
Oh,
beat clip ins, not covered, tracks exposed. But she's secure. But she's
this is my
secure.
rootin' wig. No, but also all right. So
Give me the wagon wheel Watucci. Here we go.
it's definitely giving Wagawa Watucci in this. Do you think that? All right, so I don't believe that Abby Lee Miller was ever able, ever able or capable to do these dances that she was teaching these girls on Dance Moms.
Interesting theories.
Do you think Cher was able and capable of doing these dances like Wagawa Watucci that she is teaching these girls and expecting them to do?
We're saying ever
Because do you think
timeline?
like do you think she was doing all of the sets? Like they were from her
Oh.
day and she's passing them down? Because if that was her in Reno, mama. You know what
Oh,
I'm talking about?
oh, I see you.
Because then it's definitely giving Birdcage again with Robin Williams and his baby mama,
Correct.
where it's just hot people just doing hot things.
As they do, generally, of
Mhm.
course. Ew. um, yeah, I no, I fully think I'm not. I don't know that it would be the same ones passed down. I think maybe some inspiration was taken and they were modernized. You can tell by some of them.
But do you think she's like alumni?
I don't know. I think I think she would have in a different day, she would have absolutely no problem, zero issue doing some of these dances, these kicks and these flips and doing the whole nines,
The pearls.
zero problem. But I do kind of like the idea that she just came in one day and bought the place out. She said, "No, this I love this. I love this. I want this. This is mine." She was the original what's his name who says, "Oh, you just when I see something I like, I just have to have it." And
Oh.
that's why she don't
Mhm.
like him. And that's why Derek don't like you. Have you heard of air rights, Mama? Air rights? Air rights.
Air
Air
rights.
rights. Um,
Mhm.
no, I like to think, yeah, that she did come in later, but no, absolutely, she would have zero issue having done this choreography, any of it. I think she's a fair judge. But do they not have? Is she the choreographer? Is there not another dude? Is there not a dancer, a choreographer, do something? Because I know they're on a budget,
Well,
limited
they
staff.
restaged the numbers, and I don't feel like she's out there being like 5, 6, 7,
No,
8. I don't think because she was
that's
in the
not happening.
office shuffling papers and calling folks. So I don't know. Maybe
I
it's a
think
whole
there's a
universe I would like to
choreographer.
dive more into, and I would like the people who worked on it to claim that they worked on it, and not so much a sequel, but maybe like a sequel in the sense of like a live performance. Like
Oh,
you go to burlesque and it's like not the retelling, but like the extension of.
so we want
So
a Wicked of Burlesque. We want the behind the scenes story
no, no, no,
in a
no,
Broadway format.
like it's like a whole like you know how they do like residencies or like
Yeah,
Moulin Rouge goes on tour
of
like
course.
that, but it's burlesque and it tells the story. Like we don't need another movie.
Well,
So like
no,
tell the sequel in another medium and it's a live stage show. And you could still have Cher, but it's just like a spotlight and it's just like her silhouette off stage, like on a brick wall, and you just hear her voice.
that's all.
Hmm. Hmm. Huh?
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 You just pull somebody from the Cher show that they did.
Hello.
The Cher. Oh, the Cher.
Chad Michaels, because she doesn't have enough jobs.
Never
She
has,
just
never
got
will.
hired by royalty and she's about to go perform. Good for her.
Pop off. Get it.
Hmm.
We love an opportunity.
So,
Come a knocking.
burlesque though. Any final thoughts?
Well, Mama, they're Tucci's.
I feel like I definitely feel like it's the friendship's not going nowhere. Because if it was gonna go somewhere, it would have happened by now. Because
100%.
the financial situations, just like
The
the
stress?
stresses, like what are the
Aha.
things of like stresses of a marriage? It's like children, financials, like things that lead to divorce.
Yeah.
Like they went through equivalencies of that, but
Those
in this
dancers
business
are their
together.
children. Yes.
And they're not married. He
Nope.
doesn't own any stakes in it. Like he could have walked away at any time, but
Mm-hmm.
like he wanted to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we didn't get into it too much, but like I think that they were just work friends. Like they yes, they're gonna always continue to be friends, but I think it was just like more of a work situation because the times you did see him out of it, he was living his own life and it had nothing relating back to her. Like he
Correct.
was having his booty calls when he saw his apartment. There was like no pictures of her and him like all like buddy buddy or like in Reno or nothing. At least I didn't see nothing. I've been
I
looking all
mean,
these times.
correct. But again, I think a lot
Mhm.
of that is implied. And I could see it. It's definitely like kind of a working Tucci ship kind of vibe happening here. But also, I could see it going just the teens further to where like
Mhm.
maybe they go on like shopping days because they do wardrobe together. We do see that in the film. They're calling on each other
Let's go
for
pick
help with different
fabrics.
things. Doing picking fabrics, or maybe we stop by and get coffee and a sandwich or a salad, and we have like a little meeting, just talking about the upcoming numbers or like when they do the auditions, how are they selecting. So I think they do interact a bit more. I would like to think outside of those four walls, but I think it is still work related. And then it may
Mhm.
touch and dive on that little bit of personal thing. He may dip a little tea, Oh, well, I did hook up with this guy. He stopped by. Mark, was it? I could be wrong, but I think his name was Mark. Anyway,
Mark.
so
He's Mark today.
today, sweetie, you're welcome. Thank you. But yeah, I do kind of agree in that situation as far as like what kind of Tucciship. So we can kind of jump ahead just a tense bit and then we'll touch back on our wrap up. But given this, we got to introduce this a little bit since it's our first time round. But there's always a scale, right? We've got our Tucci scale. So working Tucciship is not a part of the scale. So let's go ahead and figure out where we are laying this down. So as a familiar little scale rating, we have, is this a reasonable Tucciship? Is this for a reason? A reasonable? I hate myself. Is this a season, reason, season, or lifetime? So is this for a reason? Is this a seasonal Tucciship? Or is this a lifetime Tucciship?
Rip the Band-Aid. I would like to say that it is a lifetime. Just like us.
Aw. You like me. You really like me.
No, I think I don't think it's seasonal because it's been too many seasons, unless it's like old-timey days and you're saying like it's the 54th season, meaning it's 54 years, but like, you know what I mean?
No,
The
I do know what you
reason,
mean.
like too many reasons to count, like which is the life lesson, all of them. And then
Thank
so
you
it's
very
just
much.
the lifetime because all of the above.
Because all of the above. I agree. Lifetime
Well, I
Tucci
said
is.
earlier, if he doesn't own any ties to that place, like he could have left if he really wanted to. I don't know if he would have found like such a cool setup or like Alan Cumming working the door,
I
but
mean.
it's out there.
I
Lisa
mean.
Vanderpump, I'm sure, has something down the street. Like it's LA.
It looked like a little nook and a cranny. I'm sure he's finding some opportunities, some other
Imagine him.
basements
He
to
was
roam
like,
around.
"Screw you, Tess. I'm going for LVP," and he's out at Pump, like, like
I see that.
pruning the trees.
Well, he's doing more than that. Let's be real. He gets a little
Oh my,
internal title.
oh my! In another timeline, Jax never happened, and it's Stanley Tucci.
A mess. A whole
Oh.
mess. All right, circling back. So who would be who? Who would play her?
Who
Who
will play
wrote
her?
that book? Mama. Out of Sean and Tess, out of Cher and Tucci, who is who in this scenario? Who's me? Who's you? Who are you?
I feel that you would be Tess based off of the
Hey,
setup. Like you would have found yourself with a theater on your hands,
yes.
money mismanaged, and a
Whoa.
group of girls that don't respect you. They would have fallen in your lap. You would have taken it on, try and sorted it out, and I just would have been like, I was here for this last project. I'm going to be here for the next project. Why wouldn't I be here for this one? Let's see what we can do. Let's make it work. And, you know, bring them a few heads in every night.
So that's how we feel. Okay. Okay.
But look what happened at the end.
So you didn't close down the library today. I see. Okay.
Uh huh.
So
But in the end, look at who said to lower the curtain. So you're welcome. Have your spotlight.
you mean raise the curtain?
No, I said lower the curtain, and Tess says, no, wait.
No, wait.
She says, no,
Exactly.
wait.
That is a recreation. If you have not seen Burlesque, the film, that was a sneak peek. Pretty on par. Absolutely. Yeah.
We're gonna get copyright strikes
I
for
like to
using that
think.
footage.
I've been in a similar, not owning and running and doing all of the things, but I've been in similar situations as far as the backstage as the show workings go. We have some experience, and I also have experience with just having someone to help and support in that role and having to kind of teach them what is to be done and what is needed in the order of things and have them just help help a hoe out through the evening and doing all of the drama and the dramatics. So I think I could play that role well. I think I'm dramatic enough with my emotions, whether I like to control them or not. So I'll agree with you.
So you're calling me
This
bald.
once. That's exactly what I said. What's under the hat?
Take off your hat, you you balding bitch. Just so we
Ooh.
know, this is a bit.
Ooh.
And then the wig comes off.
So just so everyone knows, just so we know, just so we know.
Yeah, just
It is a full lace installation. Nobody worry. Nobody worry.
this unit. Nobody would pay for this.
Oh my God. So
Mhm.
that about does it for Burlesque, unless we've got any final thoughts. I think, girl, I think we got it. I think she's good. She's golden.
I think Stanley Tucci is definitely the it girl in every movie he's in, and
Say
I
it
think
again.
through this podcast you will come to realize that not that he plays every role the same, it's just he plays every role. He has the same role in every movie. Like he befriends, he maybe sometimes transforms. He like gets to know you a little bit like over a drink like Captain America.
He just
Like
helps. He uplifts. He supports.
mhm.
Sometimes it's a little drama, a little
So
action.
why wouldn't you want a good Tucci?
Hello, thank you. Look at us. Who wouldn't want to be? Nobody wants to be us. You don't want to be
Careful.
us.
Careful.
Don't do that. Don't wish for that. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
well, thank you so much for listening on your favorite podcatcher, and thank you for watching on YouTube. If you are a visual person like myself, oh
Mm-hmm. And be sure to follow along with our antics on TikTok and our other social media at Good Tucci's.
yes. You can also check out our link tree to get any and all other companion content, including our show's Discord community. That's all for this
So,
week.
ooh, we'll see you next
Until
time.
next time, bye,
Bye.
Tucci's. Ooh.